Anna, and welcome to the debut of Second Act Adventures. I have thought about starting this channel for a little bit. I was looking for a channel very similar to this, and it's probably out there, but thanks to YouTube algorithms, I couldn't find anything that was exactly what I was hoping to find. So I decided to start my own channel. And I'm really hoping that this channel will resonate with other women like myself. Women who are kind of starting their second act. I don't want to say a new chapter. I don't want to say a journey, but this is the second act. I kind of think of the first act as the first part of your life when you're in the thick of working or being a mom, and you're in that lifestyle for so long, and then it's like a big jump. Like, okay, now this is the second part. It's different than the first. It could be because of many things, but for me, it's because I retired. I retired younger. I retired at 55 from teaching. I retired, which was a new lifestyle to get used to. And then my husband passed away in May, which totally changed what I thought this second act was going to look like. You know, we had plans for when he retired, what we were going to do and how we were going to live. And that has obviously changed. And I was really wanting to connect with other women who were going through the same thing. Not necessarily retirement or the death of a spouse, but the change of a lifestyle that you were used to, and maybe a change that you weren't responsible for, or maybe one that you weren't thinking you would have. It's changed in ways that you did not think was possible. And how do you cope? And how do you live? And how do you continue with a great quality of life in this second act? A sequel almost to the first book. Now you're in the sequel, and perhaps the sequel is not what you were expecting the sequel to look like. So that is the premise of Second Act Adventures. So why this name, Second Act Adventures? Well, Second Act is pretty self-explanatory. And adventures is because I wanted to reframe how I was looking at my future. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be positive. I wanted it to be adventuresome. Even if it's tiny things. I did not want to think in a negative way about the second act. I didn't want to think about future in like, oh, this is not what I expected. Now what am I going to do? I was hoping that with a name like Adventures, I myself am going to be more apt to be like, yes, I'm going to do that. Yes, let's try it. I want this coming year to be more of a yes year for me. I tend to not to be a yes person right away. I tend to be, let me consider that and I will get back to you. Because I'm not a person that likes commitment. I like to ponder and think about things before I commit to anything. Once I commit, I'm fine. But I do like to consider all options. And I am really hoping that I become a little more spontaneous this year. And I'm hoping through this channel and this account and my filming that it kind of forces me to do things maybe that I wouldn't do, or to be a little more spontaneous, to say yes to more things, and to know that I'm going to be sitting with grief, and not every day is going to be happy and positive, but I can also be two things at once. I can be sad and I can miss my husband and my life, but I can also enjoy the life that I have now. And I think for as much myself as for my viewers, that is what I want the takeaway to be for this channel. So I'm really hoping that if that resonates with you and you're like, oh, yes, that sounds exactly the kind of channel or account or person I want to follow, or the community that I want to be a part of, I hope that you stick around. What can you expect from this channel? Well, I kind of gave you a little hint. I love vlogging, so I am going to obviously be vlogging my life. I would like to focus on different topics for my vlogs too, whether it be how am I handling the holidays, or how am I handling finances, or doing things alone, like socially when that's not something I have done, traveling alone, just cooking for one, which it was hard enough to cook for two. How do you cook for one? Just all of the things that impact your life when, you are moving on, you're changing your lifestyle. And it might not even be for one. You might be changing your lifestyle, but you're not widowed. So how do you handle retirement? What do you do when your whole life is revolved around work? What do you do if you have no family? What if you do have family close by? Do you get a second job? How do you handle all of that? Like, how do you make this part of your life extra? How do you give this life, this is your year to have a glow up. So that is really what I want my channel to be. I do not highly edit what I say. You are going to get the bloopers. You are going to get the at least right now. I try to be as real as possible, as if you were sitting here talking to me. You're not going to have a super shiny product. I do like to edit with music. I definitely am going to use this channel to hone my storytelling and my videography and my editing skills, but what you see is what you get. I really hope that this sounds like something that you would enjoy. If so, stick around and I will be back on video number 2. I think that I'm going to try to do once a week upload for right now. If I can handle that, maybe I'll do more. But I think once a week I can do. So on the next video, stay tuned. Get to know me a little more. We'll have a little story time. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you come back to Second Adventures. Bye for now.